Welcome back to Amy Kardashian and the Expert Show, where the experts share their knowledge, wisdom, and powerful insights to help you transform your business and personal life. This show is about real-world education and beyond. I have my wonderful guest. This is the second time she's been on my show, and her name is Bonita Faye. And we are going to talk about how to overcome an unbelievable situation. I really encourage you, if you haven't watched her first segment, to go back to akexpertstv.com and watch her first segment. Then you can understand where she's coming from. And we will recap a little bit about the first segment, and we're going to go straight to the story again, because you have a powerful story. It's gonna give people hope and let them know that your life is not over when the time you just think your life is over. And welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
It was great having you, and we really get a lot of people were interested to hear about your story, and they're like, when you're gonna interview her again. So
thank you.
It was nice having you. Tell us a little bit about your story. Just recap the chapter, like the first segment we had.
Okay,
First time.
absolutely. In 2002, I was living in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I had a severe back injury that left me unable to work. I had exhausted my workers' comp, didn't qualify for unemployment. I was overqualified for welfare, and I made some bad decisions. I chose to sell marijuana to support my family, and I ended up having a criminal case where I was facing 80 years for a murder I did not commit. And that's kind of where we left off with the last time.
Yes, and then the mistake you did, because you couldn't feed your kids anymore because you were not able to get any welfare.
Correct.
And it wasn't because you were lazy or you were injured.
Correct.
And you couldn't work.
Exactly.
You just couldn't work, and you had to find a way to make a living.
Yes.
Now, for everyone to understand that you were smoking some marijuana before your injury,
Correct.
which you admit that.
I do.
And people do mistakes, and people do things, and some people addicted to different things. But it doesn't make you be a bad mother, or you were working hard. You had a good credit at work. But when you get injured, then this is where it all started.
Yes.
Now tell us what happened and how you were in jail. What happened there? When you went there, you were shocked. They took kids away from you.
Yes.
And where you were in your mind. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
That's a great question. In my mind, Amy, I thought my life was over. I actually tried to kill myself. I remember climbing up on the desk and tying the sweater around my neck.
Ooh. Wow.
It's it's very vivid for me.
Wow. Well, first of all, you lost your kids.
Yes.
You lost your hope.
Yes.
There is no more opportunities for you.
Yes.
And just one bad decision you made. Well, in a way, you were kind of forced to do that decision because you have to feed your kids.
Absolutely. And it doesn't make it right, and I make no excuses for it. I absolutely own and accept that at that point in my life, I made a bad decision. However, I like to think of my story as a testimony, because had I not gone through that storm, I wouldn't be where I'm at today and who I am today.
The key is to allow yourself to go through the storm.
Yes.
Because so many people, they end up committing suicide, not allowing themselves to go through it because they lose hope.
Absolutely.
That's the key, is don't lose your hope. That's what this show is all about, to help you in so many different ways if you recognize every show. So what we're telling you here, this is very important what you just said.
Yes.
Allow yourself to go through the storm.
Absolutely.
So then why did you change your mind not to kill yourself, and what happened?
God sent me a vision. I had a very vivid vision of my great-grandmother, and she was telling me that everything was going to be okay. I had had the dream about 2 weeks prior, and I didn't know what it meant.
And you're like, how this can go okay? I'm in jail. I don't have my kids.
Right, but she told me it was going to be okay.
Wow.
And so at that point, when my great-grandmother was speaking to me, I climbed down off the desk. And
Wow.
there was a sense of peace that came over me, that it wasn't going to be that serious where I had to end my own life. When you hear that you're facing 80 years,
Oh, yeah.
and Wisconsin is a truth in sentencing state, 80 years means every day of 80 years.
Wow, it's like there is no parole
There
early
is
or
no
anything,
parole board
or
in Wisconsin
good
anymore.
behavior or anything.
No.
Well, even if you do, your life is over.
Yes.
Yeah, even if you go 40 years, your life is over.
Yes.
Right? When you come out society, they don't give you opportunity. People doing nothing wrong, and we have hard time really to. Some people I know, they have hard time finding a job.
Yes, it
Not
is a
alone
life.
if you're coming out from. jail.
It's really a lifelong sentence.
Yes.
When you're an ex-offender.
So then what helped you to have that patience to believe that everything's gonna be okay besides your grandma? You just believed it?
Well, I prayed to God, and one of the things people always say is, why do people in jail always turn to God? It's because you have no one else. You're at your lowest and you're at your worst. Your mother can't help you. You can't call your father. You have nobody left to call on but God. And sometimes He needs for you to be at that place so that He can get your attention.
Well, 90% of the time we remember God when we need something.
Yes.
And
yes.
then where everything is good, then we don't really remember it. And then when we're going through down, we blame God.
Exactly.
Right? And He's like, no, I want you to not blame me. I want you to praise me.
Yes.
Praise me, right?
Yes, and it was really crazy because in my book I said, first you start you're begging God help me, please help me get out of this. I didn't do this, and I wasn't getting any response. Then you start bargaining, God, please get me out of this. I promise I'll never smoke weed again. God, I promise I'll do the right thing, and I still wasn't getting an answer. And finally I just submitted and said, God, what do you want from me? And clear as day I heard an answer that said, plead guilty.
Wow.
And I thought God had lost his mind along with me. I thought we was all crazy. I'm like, no, you don't plead guilty to 80 years.
Okay, so we're going on very short commercial, and when we come back, we're gonna see how she's sitting here after she was going to go for 80 years, right? We'll be right back.
Are you frustrated and wasting time searching for high-quality education and entertainment and not finding it? Stop wasting your time. We've got your solution. Our 3 dynamic and unique online TV shows provide you with high-quality and easy-to-find content. Everything from business skills and self-development to book and movie reviews and everything in between. At akexpertstv.com, you'll find high-quality experts in their field in one place at no cost to you. Visit www.akexpertstv.com today.
Okay, we are back, and we are back to ask you questions.
Yes.
80 years, they're telling you you're going to jail for 80 years.
Yes.
And you're bargaining with God now.
Yes.
Tell us more.
So I went to sleep. I woke up and I said I needed to be obedient. So I walked up to the officer's desk and I asked to speak to my lawyer, and I called him and told him I wanted to change my plea to guilty.
Wow.
And to my surprise, the homicide charge had already been dropped. I thought I was pleading guilty to homicide, but it had already been dropped, and instead I was charged with conspiracy with intent to deliver or possess marijuana and theft from a corpse. And so I ended up doing 2 years on each count. And they ran concurrent, so I did 2 years inside total.
Well, that's nothing compared to 80 years. That's nothing compared to that. You're like, amen to that.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yes.
I'll take it and be happy with it.
Yes.
Because, it could take you years before they even... Okay, so did you keep relationship with your kids? What happened there? By the way, she had 6 kids, okay?
Yes.
God bless you.
3 biological and 3 adopted children. I was able to keep a relationship with my biological children through a program called St. Rose Youth and Family Services.
Okay.
They brought my children to visit me every weekend. They arranged for individual counseling and also family counseling with my daughter. I just started signing up for everything that I thought would help me. If the prison offered it, such as parenting, anger management, drug and alcohol classes, I volunteered to take it. I took over 23 programs and completed them.
Nice, because you were so focused on
Yes.
you want to get out and you want to be a good citizen again, like you used to be.
Yes.
And you passed the bullet.
Yes.
You're like, I passed the bullet. I'm gonna do everything I can here. Okay. And then what happened to your adopted kids?
They kind of they struggled. It was very hard for them. They were older, so they went to stay with some of their family members. But I have to tell you, Amy, one of the saving graces for me was that I stopped lying to myself and I signed up for my high school diploma while I was in there.
Nice.
Everyone thought I had it and I didn't. And so I started just working on myself from the inside.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the title of my book is called Guilty, the Inside Truth.
But you know, God was working
Oh, he was
through
working
inside,
miracles.
right?
Yes.
That is a miracle because He allowed you to say, "I'm guilty," and you weren't guilty about killing somebody.
Mhm.
But it's just amazing how much, you know, God really loves us and helps us when we come and say, "You're the boss."
Yes.
You are the boss.
Yes.
And that's just amazing. Now, when we come back, I want you to share with us what happened when you got out and how you really have now you're navigating your life. So we'll be
Okay.
right back.